thanks to everyone who could be here today for this incredible display of regional unity. That's unity, right? Exactly. That's unity. That's unity. And my wife will thank Elise later. Obviously, my friend Mayor Elise Parton from City of Casey, Joanne Turnquist, the President and CEO of the Central Carolina Community Foundation, Mayor Michael Bishop from the town of Springdale, Mayor David Busby from the town of Pine Ridge, Chairman Johnny Jeffcoat of Lexington County Council, Mayor Mike Ross from the town of Blythewood, the Honorable Curtis Rye, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Forest Acres, Councilwoman Ginger Dukes, also from the town of Forest Acres. I want to thank Colonel Owens and Lieutenant Colonel King, who are here representing our great Adjutant General Livingston, who couldn't be here with us today. Colonel Owens and I spent a little bit too much time down here together a few weeks ago. Earlier this month, the people of this community witnessed a 1,000-year flood that destroyed roads and bridges, breached dams, and washed away homes across the Midlands. Beyond leaving countless families displaced, but in the midst of that unthinkable tragedy and trauma, something very special happened. In every corner of this great city, across this great region, and across this great state, of people who had every reason to collapse under the great weight of this flood somehow found the strength to stand. And that strength has borne hope. Today, weeks after the flooding, the news crews have gone home, at least the national ones have. You don't have to boil your water, and one by one, roads are beginning to reopen. But while it feels like the worst has passed and many of our lives are beginning to return to normal, for thousands of families, the crisis is still very real, and the need is still very immediate. They need our help, and we're here. Mayors and leaders from all across this region, we're here to make sure they get the help they need. The waters didn't care if you lived in Columbia, Forest Acres, or Casey, Richland County, or Lexington. And it's going to take all of us to come together as one great community if we're ever going to truly recover. So we're proud to be here today with the Central Carolina Community Foundation to support the South Carolina Flood Relief Fund. And we're asking everyone within the sound of our voices to join us as we pool our time, our talents, and our treasures to meet this urgent need. Let us show the world that we stand united in our pledge that no one will be left behind. I'm happy to give the microphone to my friend, Elise Parton.
We stood in awe, reverence, and appreciation for the speed and intensity by which people and churches and civic groups and neighbors rushed to help during and in the aftermath of the flood. The frenetic pace of new Facebook pages and messages asking for help, directing help, and redirecting help was powerful. It made a difference and showed the integrity and caring by which South Carolinians live. The waters have receded now, and a lot of people, most people, have gone back to a sense of normalcy. And yet there are still people living somewhere other than their houses. Family photos showing a lifetime of memories are gone. Favorite teddy bears are destroyed. Child's artwork on the refrigerator, missing. We are blessed that this storm didn't devastate our entire economy and so much of our landscape in totality, or even in wide swaths like so many other storms, but it's almost worse this way because of the stark pockets of devastation and upheaval in the midst of a return to normalcy. It makes it too easy to forget the need. As mayors from all across the region, we're using our collective voice to represent those still in intense turmoil so that they are not lost in the normalcy that we are thankful has returned to the community. These areas of devastation and upheaval affect our community, our economy, and all of us. we're asking all of those who volunteered to help with the short-term needs to take the next step. Help us spread the word about the South Carolina Relief Fund as a trusted way to help with the long-term needs. Now I'll turn it over to Joanne Turnquist, President and CEO of the Central Carolina Community Foundation.
Thank you. On behalf of the board and the staff of Central Carolina Community Foundation, I would like to thank this group of mayors whose leadership and calm and determination to rebuild have brought them together and have brought all of us together today. And I'd also like to thank the first responders who are here. I live in a neighborhood that was devastated, Lake Catherine, and the reservists were there on Sunday helping people rescue their lives. We've not gone through a 1,000-year flood in any of our lifetimes. So the Central Carolina Community Foundation, a 31-year-old organization that helps connect communities, that helps make sure that donors know that their dollars are being directed to true areas of need within their community, come together. We reached out to folks in Tennessee, in North Dakota, areas that had been hard hit by floods in the past. And what we learned motivated us to start the South Carolina Flood Relief Fund. They said, as Mayor Benjamin did, once the folks leave, there will still be a lot of recovery. And as Mayor Parton said, it's pockets of need, but those pockets are great. So now we're on the rebuilding phase. And we are delighted that we have witnessed the generosity of folks from across the country who have given to the South Carolina Flood Relief Fund. We don't know all of the answers. We don't know where the areas that are most hardest hit need help. We're not certain yet what nonprofit organizations can best address those needs, but we will be working towards that. And with the help and input of the regional mayors, and with folks from across those hard-hit counties, we will have eyes on the street. We will have direct knowledge. We will know the constituents that are still hurting. And we can deploy the dollars that are so generously given to ensure that the nonprofits are doing the work to rebuild our communities quickly and efficiently. But again, we can't do this alone. We need everyone's help. And we are, again, very, very grateful to the mayors and to the first responders for all that they've done. Thank you. And now, I'm very proud to toss it to Mayor Pro Tem of Forest Acres, Kurt Rye.
Thank you. We'll take just a minute and talk about community for a minute. I was talking to Elise and Steve a few minutes ago, and we were talking about community, and we were talking about municipalities and different jurisdictions. And those are just lines on a piece of paper. Forest Acres' crisis began a few days before the flood. We lost one of our police officers, Greg Aaliyah, in a senseless killing at Richland Mall. Immediately, Forest Acres had help. We had relief from folks all over the Midlands, from our fellow law enforcement from all over this great community. And they came and helped us. They took care of us. They gave our folks a time to grieve. Then we had the funeral, and that's when we had the rains begin. And it kept raining, and it kept raining. We thought we're going to get better. We're going to start healing. We lost our police department. It flooded. We had to move to a church. We've seen such help from our community. And when I say community, I don't mean just Forest Acres. I'm talking about all over the Midlands, all over the state. We've had people come and help us. We had folks give us their church to operate the police department out of. We had restaurants from all over the Midlands. We had folks from all over the Midlands bringing in meals. We had Ginger Dukes and my wife. They were categorizing who's bringing the next meal, when would we feed them. We were so well taken care of, and it was by the community. It wasn't by just Forest Acres. We're all in this thing together. We appreciate everything that's been done for us, and we certainly hope that we'll be in the position that when we have another crisis, that we'll be able to reach out to y'all. I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor Benjamin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In addition, while I have the microphone, I do want to remind folks of the Columbia Area Recovery Effort Hotline, the CARE Hotline, encouraging those who are watching, if they do need help or want to help, the CARE Hotline is there with a variety of experts to help meet their needs and helping rebuild their lives. 1-866-272-1976. Ask us, tell us, we're listening. We're very proud that today one family is responding to the needs of folks in the Midlands, and that, of course, is the Lipscomb family. Wonderful, generous benefactors to this community for a number of years. Their foundation has been a long-time supporter of our region and is a community foundation partner. The Lipscomb Family Foundation is stepping up to help our community rebuild. Starting today, their foundation will match all gifts to the South Carolina Flood Relief Fund up to $100,000. So to donate, we want to encourage people to go to www.yourfoundation.org/SC Flood Relief. Again, that's yourfoundation.org/SC Flood Relief. While we're publicly announcing our efforts today, the work of so many folks behind the scenes has been going on for the last few weeks, and we've shown some strength and dexterity in raising funds. But I will tell you, based on what we know, the needs and the unmet needs in this community are and will be over the next several years, we've only just begun. We've got to raise a lot more money to help a lot more people. So I want to encourage you, if you have the ability to contribute and support this effort, please do. If you have the ability to give a little more, we ask you to dig a little deeper. It's going to take the continued kindness and generosity that has become, I believe, the hallmark of the Midlands and of South Carolina to help all of our fellow South Carolinians make it through this very difficult patch. Thank you, and I think we'd be happy to field any questions that some of you may have right now.
Any other type of donation before we decide to
You want to speak to that?
At this point, the South Carolina Flood Relief Fund is accepting only donations of financial donations.
I would say this, though, again, we know that people have given the time, the talents, and the treasures in so many different ways, and obviously there are a number of different ways still to volunteer across the Midlands. The United Way of South Carolina is helping coordinate some of those resources, and of course, if folks want to call the CARE Hotline, we can also help some folks find the best way to donate their time and their talents if that's what they have to give. Again, that's 1-866-272-1976. I'd say as much as possible. Chris, sure. I'll let Joanne speak to the specifics as to how much is coming so far, Chris. But we know that this is a piece of the puzzle, and that obviously this charitable effort won't meet the entire need. But we know we're going to have that the need will exceed what we're able to bring in. So we're trying to raise as much as possible, And time and again, this has been an incredible year in South Carolina. 2015 has been one for the record books from beginning to the very end. And I must tell you, I believe that the people of this state have acquitted themselves quite well. I'm so very proud to be a South Carolinian, and I hope and pray that we realize that, again, the needs of so many of our citizens, and those citizens are from every part of this region. They're every socioeconomic strata. They're every religion, they're every race, and every ethnicity. They will have needs that will go well beyond the next several weeks, next several months, next several years. And so as many resources as we have to potentially meet those needs, we need to get them in hand. So there's no limit as to what we can do, and hopefully we step up as we have done every single month of 2015. Joanne, you want to speak specifically?
Sure. We're working with numbers of funders across the region. The South Carolina Flood Fund to date has raised approximately $500,000. In addition, we have secured two $125,000 grants that have gone out through the Knight Foundation, one of our partners. and we have heard that there are more dollars coming in. Again, our fund is to be used for those folks who want to make a difference but are not sure how to deploy their monies. There are many organizations that are doing great work throughout our community, and we're working closely with them. Thank you.
Are there specific areas, I guess, you see this money going towards? Is that something that's sorted out with nonprofits later on? Any terms?
We have a grant proposal that will be published on November 2nd. Nonprofits can apply for grants to Central Carolina Community Foundation South Carolina Flood Fund, and the review process will take place with input from the Mayor's Forum, from folks across the region, and members of our board. Nonprofits will be asked to describe the area that they are helping, what types of assistance they're providing, the population that they will be assisting. You'll be able to find all of the information and much more specific on our website, yourfoundation.org.
Joy, you might mention back to his question about volunteering, if they can volunteer at those organizations that they already do.
Absolutely. Mayor Parton reminded me, again, the need for volunteers and the need for supplies is still great. There are many organizations that are still accepting donations. The United Way of the Midlands is coordinating a lot of volunteering. The Red Cross has been collecting different donations of goods. The Adventists, the Baptists, the Catholic Charities, the Lutherans, the Methodists are all working together. The Salvation Army is coordinating with numbers of folks. One of the things we're seeing, in addition to the mayor's collaboration, is that providers are coming together to ensure that we are having the greatest impact collectively and not being redundant in the type of services we offer. There are a lot of conversations going on amongst not only those who fund, but amongst those who provide the services. If folks would like to find out more information, the information that Mayor Benjamin has provided can do that.
And maybe I see no more hands. As a last word, I really want to thank all my colleagues behind me. We say regional mayors, it of course includes our city council people and town council people, the chairs of our county councils. When we first met, I guess, in July of 2010, this effort was designed to make sure we realize that there's not a river that divides Richland and Lexington County. There's a bridge that connects us. Whether or not we choose to sometimes make up fictional lines, that the issues that affect any of our families affect all of our families. And we've worked together very closely over the last 5 years to really, I think, build not just a great business relationship amongst our parties for times of need, but also wonderful personal friendships. So I want to thank the men and women behind me for their leadership in that effort, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you. I do want to say one very special thing. At least it's kind of my partner in crime. So we do a lot together. But I think all of us want to thank Johnny Jeffcoat. Johnny's decided he's going to retire from public life, and he has been an incredible chairman of Lexington County Council, dedicating much of his adult life to the people of the Midlands. An incredible record of job creation and just providing really good government. So as Johnny leaves our ranks, I wanted to make sure we made that point. Thank y'all so much for being here. We've got a lot to go do, and we're going to do it together. As long as we breathe, we hope. Thank you.